Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of I Bought a Watch. Again, you guys have been amazing me with the support you have for this channel. And although it may not seem like much compared to some of the other channels out there, hitting 50 subscribers is a massive milestone for me and the channel, so just wanted to thank you all for watching and subscribing. Just to mention, if you are new to the channel and are watching and want to see more stuff like this, do consider hitting that like and subscribe button, it really does help. So as a special treat and to say thank you in today's episode, I reached out to a friend of the channel and asked if I could borrow something special to review in today's episode. Hopefully there's not too much of a shock if I've done the thumbnail correctly, and it is of course the world-renowned Rolex Submariner. Okay, so this watch of course needs no introduction. However, unless you're especially well clued up on your Rolex history trivia, this specific reference might. So this specific piece I have in front of me is the relatively rare model of the Rolex Submariner and is the reference number 168000, also known as the 000. This rare and glossy dialed Submariner was only produced from mid-1988 into 1989, and the main distinguishing feature from its slightly older 00 sibling is that this release marked Rolex's change from 316L stainless steel to the new and improved 904L stainless steel, still used in Rolex to this day. Otherwise indistinguishable, the 16800 has the look and all the same case dimensions as the tail-end production models of the 16800, with the sole difference being that the case material making this particular model exceptionally rare. Interestingly, the case back and bracelet of the 000 still use the 316L grade stainless steel, and it is not uncommon for 16800 models to be referred to as 16800s in their paperwork, making this model even harder to distinguish. Okay, that's enough talk about the history. Let's get a closer look at this watch. Wow, look at that. Still can't fully believe I'm handling this watch in front of the camera for all of you guys. So as I said, this is the Rolex reference number 16800 and houses a Rolex caliber 3035 movement. This particular movement has 27 jewels, a 48-hour power reserve, hacking, hand winding, instant date change at midnight, and a quick set date. This watch has a practically perfect set of dimensions in many people's eyes, and they are 40mm case diameter, 48mm lug to lug, a 20mm encompassing lug width, and 12mm thickness. Let's also take a moment to appreciate those beautifully curved lugs on this oyster case. The well-documented and renowned dial of the Submariner features the classic Rolex Mercedes style handset. This model features a glossy black dial with the words Rolex Oyster Perpetual at the 12 o'clock and Submariner 1000 feet 300 meters, and of course superlative chronometer officially serviced at the 6 o'clock. The iconic selection of indices on this watch are the triangle at the 12 o'clock, baton style indices at the 6 and 9, and circular indices for the remaining hour markers. Those indices are packed full of tritium lume and have a white gold edging. The dial also features an impeccably framed date window at the 3 o'clock, which is perfectly centered in that cyclops, which, like the crystal, is made from a sapphire glass. The last thing on the dial, just below the 6, is written Swiss T less than 25, which basically means the watch is Swiss and contains a certain quantity of tritium that emits less than 25 millicurie of radiation. The finishing on this watch features a beautiful satin brushing on the top of those lugs, with an immaculate high polish on the sides of the case. The aspect of this case I really appreciate most is the high polished beveled edge there, just on the side of those lugs. Another feature on this case which calls back to its tool watch heritage are those drilled lugs, which allow for easy strap changes. And when you've got an absolute strap monster like this, ease of removing and attaching those straps is paramount. This older model of the Submariner has the more dated retro styling of lugs, which are slightly more pointed than on the newer models. The case also features crown guards which come up sharply to meet the signed screw-down crown at that 3 o'clock position. The watch also features a coin-edged 120-click unidirectional bezel. This has a lume-pipped stainless steel dive time bezel insert. For me, personally, the bezel is a little too stiff. However, I do know that the owner of this Rolex takes exceptionally good care of this watch, and hence it hasn't been worn down in the manner you would typically expect from a 31-year-old watch. Although they've managed to give this watch a thin profile and attempted to aid grip with that coin-edged bezel, I still think the bezel is a little on the slippery side with that amount of resistance. The watch features the typical Rolex screw-down sterile caseback found on all of their Oyster models. In between the lugs at the 6 is engraved stainless steel, and at the 12 is engraved original Rolex design. This particular strap is from a company called Collareb and is the Vera Pelle, which is a genuine handcrafted leather strap from Italy. Okay, I am really excited to get this on the wrist. But first, let's go over a little bit of the Submariner's history. So the Submariner was launched in 1953 and was a breakthrough watch and the first of its kind to ever reach depths of 100 meters. However, due to the classic and timeless design of the Submariner, it soon found itself not just at home in the water, but on the wrists of explorers, athletes, filmmakers, artists, and many other walks of life. One of its most notable appearances is on the wrist of Sean Connery as James Bond in the film Dr. No. Fast forward to modern day, the Rolex Submariner is an icon of functional style, a tool watch that can be worn at any occasion, and the ultimate one-piece collection. Okay, I think we've waited long enough, let's put this on the wrist. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this does feel rather special. That might be because I'm putting this watch on a bit of a pedestal, and that this is really the first time for me that I've ever been up this close to a Rolex. And more to the point, only up until now when it's literally strapped to my wrist am I only a little less worried about dropping the thing. Okay, so how does it actually wear? Well, as you can see, the watch wears beautifully. The 40mm case diameter really does cater for most wrist sizes and certainly works well with my 7.5-inch wrist. Another thing I've only just been able to appreciate with it on my wrist is that lovely patina that has formed at the indices. The slight discoloration of the tritium really gives not only this particular piece a unique look, but brings forward that message that you are wearing a piece of horological history on the wrist. Alright, I'm just going to close this out by saying, although I'm paraphrasing massively, I remember seeing a Submariner ad a few years back that really stuck in my mind. It read something like this: as comfortable in the boardroom as it is at 1,000 feet below. And although it was just corny marketing jargon, now that I have the thing in my hands, I think I agree. But what I'm not sure I agree on is the price of these things. So I'm going to be making a follow-up episode comparing this Submariner to my Pagani design Almost Mariner in a follow-up head-to-head episode. Okay, well, that does it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I certainly enjoyed making it. If you did like what you saw and want to see that follow-up head-to-head, do remember to like and subscribe. Thanks again, everyone, for watching, and goodbye.